What's going on, everyone? Hunter with Robot Outdoors, and today we're going to be going over some gear setups for turkey hunting. First, we're going to start out with the bino harness. Now, this is the KUIU Pro bino harness. It is kind of the system that I have developed. I have a whole in-depth review video that I'll put up here. But basically, the way I have this configured is not much different than when I usually would if I'm out deer hunting or elk hunting or whatever. So in here, I keep my rangefinder, and that is a Vortex Impact. Not a bad little guy. That just kind of lives here in this pouch on my right side. And moving along to the other side, this is their phone holder pouch. So I usually during turkey season don't keep much in here. My phone will actually fit into this big pouch, so that is primarily what I will use that for. And then typically in this lower pouch, I will have some kind of like an Allen key, hex key set. That way if I do need to make any adjustments, I can do so. And on the right side of the KUIU Pro harness itself, I have my little scratcher for my puck call, as well as just a little pocket knife, so I'll use it for marking tags, whatever. Now in this right little elastic pocket, I don't usually keep much. In this bottom little pouch is actually for bear mace. I typically don't have that or don't have anything in here, so usually I'll just rip that off. And then this little Velcro accessory pouch is where I will keep a lens cloth for cleaning any kind of optics, binos, things of that sort. Keep a little tape measure, that way I can measure out, you know, whatever I need for like antler length, beard length, spurs, all that fun stuff. And then this is kind of a more recent purchase I've gotten. It's a new puck call from Type 1 Calls in KUIU Verde, which is pretty sweet. I've usually used box calls for the longest time, but I've kind of switched to this, so that way I'm not moving a ton while using that call, and I actually like it quite a bit. And this front little pocket is actually extremely tight, so the only thing I typically will keep in here is tags. Even those are kind of a pain to get out. I keep a set of Vortex Viper HD 10x42s. This is my primary bino I use for pretty much every kind of hunting that I do. And then, as in the bino harness video, on the back of this you can actually attach a hydro bladder, but typically I will not have that because I'll be wearing a day pack. I set the day pack down next to me, and the bladder is usually stalled in that to where I can access that quickly if need be. Now moving on to the day pack, this is the same one I use for pretty much any kind of day pack style hunting I do. This is a KUIU Venture Divide 200 series. I have really been using this pack a ton last year and did really enjoy it. I don't have a full video on this, but there will be one coming out soon. And if I remember, I'll put that card up in the corner below. But on the front here, not a ton going on. Just have some straps for like running hoses, things like that. I do keep usually sometimes a little walkie-talkie depending on what all we're doing, just so we can keep in communications if, hey, we're heading back to the truck, or, you know, got a bird down, what have you. You can see my bladder hoses run down through here. Typically won't really keep anything in these elastic side pockets, but in this front big pocket here, I do keep a little KUIU glassing pad. And then this top little quick, easy to get to, usually have a very light merino wool face masks, a beanie, and some Attack Series glove. And majority of my stuff is in the Velo pattern because I find that that does work very well in my area. Verde also works very good depending on the location that you're hunting in. As you see, it's got these nice clips, so this pack can really expand. So in this top mesh pocket, I do have a little med kit with a rat T tourniquet. And then this is a line kit. Now you can see this does have two of these little hooks, and you basically will pull the 550 to tighten the cord up. And what I like to use this for is, usually I don't have it in here now, but I'll have like a sheet of camo netting, and I can use this to kind of set up like a hasty blind if I'm in an area that doesn't have a lot of cover. Carry an extra carabiner because you always know when those will come in handy. A little knife with a saw blade attached to it. And this is just a one-way kind of neon, again, a little line kit where you can pull this and tightens the line. Also keep a little HME bone saw in here and just a cheap little handsaw. I like keeping the handsaw in there because it can be used to set up like a hasty blind or just cut some, you know, limbs that are in your way from your position. And typically what I'll do, because there is a lot of like open pockets, whether that be in the front or in this kind of more, it's like a canvas type material inside the bag here. I will put like a spotting scope if I do. If I'm turkey hunting, I typically don't because the binos are plenty enough. Or I'll stuff like an outer jacket if I'm hunting in like the morning and it goes from being pretty cool to pretty warm. Usually stuff my extra layers kind of in here so they're easy to get to with these clips. And then this is the hydro bladder that I mentioned earlier that will attach onto my bino harness if I did want to drop pack and just put this on for like a quick stalk or what have you. This does have some other little pockets in too, so it's actually pretty versatile. Now moving on to the inner layer here. And this top one, I would typically keep like some warmer socks, warmer gloves. Usually just keep a bunch of snacks in here, you know, because that's always a necessity to have your snacks while you're out on the hunt. And again, extra pair of wool socks because that is always something you want to have when you're out in the woods. And this is typically where I would put that camo netting, like I mentioned, just because this is the biggest pocket and it usually takes up a decent amount of space. So the layers that I use are usually pretty standard. Again, I use a lot of the Velo pattern. Works very well. And the main setup that I use is the Encounter series, both their jacket as well as their pants. The jacket is like, I would call it a mid-weight layer. It is pretty abrasive resistance and it actually keeps me pretty warm hunting in a little bit cooler temperatures. This is another Encounter series. For my military dudes, think of this as like a waffle top. It's a warming layer. You guys can kind of see some of the material it has on the inside. Really good for keeping you dry and helping insulate during those colder temps. If it does start getting warmer out, I can always take this off, stuff it in the jacket. But usually as like a base layer, I will also use a Merino Wool Series t-shirt. I have those in the Verde pattern as well. And then to kind of wrap this up, this is the Encounter series pant. I have absolutely come to love these things. If you're not a fan of the suspenders, I don't know what you're doing because these things are phenomenal. Again, this is kind of like a mid-weight. Has the same kind of warming as the other Encounter series. Very abrasion resistance, has pockets all over the place. Probably one of my favorite things is a mesh side vent here, as well as pockets that are right on top of your quad, so if you're sitting down you can get to calls, your phone, whatever you got in there, very easily accessible, as well as having the typical other pockets like on the thighs up here. But overall, great pant. You can also, if you do need to use these with muck boots, which you usually do in the wintertime, they have the zippers. So I know for turkey hunting, a lot of you have started already. For me and Joey, our season starts this upcoming Saturday from when this video will be posted, so we are going to be getting out that weekend and hitting it pretty hard. So hopefully we both get lucky. I'm gonna try to film some of those hunts, and if you guys like that kind of stuff, go ahead, subscribe, stay tuned. If you do like this kind of video, a like is always appreciated. We do have a Patreon now, so if you want to support the things that we do here, thank you. You know, no pressure, but that link will be in the description down below. Do a lot of kind of hunting, outdoors, off-roading content. I did have a recent sit rep video, kind of giving some updates of what's been going on now and some really cool changes that are going to be coming soon. But love for you guys to stay tuned to all that fun stuff. Hit that subscribe button, little bell notification, get notified when I post a video every Sunday. And until then, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Big shout out to my assistant back there for keeping everybody distracted. Yeah.